well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome once again to my channel, Stop Effing Killing. I'm your host, the MOD, also known as the Method of Delivery. Before we get into today's topic, please like, share, and subscribe if you find anything that resonates with you. So, today's topic is 2A or too late. 2A or too late. The Second Amendment and constitutional carry, or is it too late for a country that is overrun with violent crime? So, the thing is, I am an avid supporter of the Second Amendment. I believe that every man, woman, and child has a right to self-defense. Now, the thing is that self-defense may at times include a firearm. On the table, I have two of my favorite firearms that I own. I do own several firearms, but these are two of my favorites. The first is a famous maker handgun with a high-capacity 13-round magazine. It has a chamber flag in it to show that it was rendered safe. It also has a custom holster designed specifically for this firearm when I carry it on my person. The second is an AR-15, also a famous maker, complete with a 30-round magazine. Now, the thing is, this AR has several features on it that were banned during the Clinton-era assault weapons ban. And in some states, currently, some of the features that this weapon have are still banned. It is lightly customized to my liking. The thing is, I have fired thousands of rounds with both of these weapons. These weapons are legal in the state that I reside in, and I have trained with them. I have had civilian training, I've had security training, I've had law enforcement training. Some of the training I actually paid for out of my own pocket. Yet and still, I've had training. I have a handgun permit in my respective state. I've had this permit for decades. That permit required some training, some law enforcement instruction, and as well as instruction on competence with the firearm, and with regards to laws of safe handling, shoot, no shoot scenarios. And so the thing is, we as citizens of this country, as the well-regulated militia, we need to push back against constitutional carry. And why do I say that? Because constitutional carry, for the most part, has these minimal standards that have to be met for a person to be able to carry a firearm without any background check, without any training whatsoever, without any professional instruction. The thing is, several of these states have the constitutional carry laws written to where there is a minimum age requirement. The person has to be a resident of the state. They can't be subject to a restraining order, and certain felons are prohibited from carrying firearms. But the thing is, how would anybody know any of this stuff if you're not doing the proper checks? We find out after the fact that a person was a convicted felon, after the fact that they were under the order of protection or restraining order, after the fact that the firearm that they used to commit their heinous or violent act was actually stolen and once upon a time legally purchased. That is the problem that I have with constitutional carry. Now, when you talk about training, Alden P. Carter, who wrote The American Revolution, stated in his book that an expert with a musket could fire 4 to 5 shots in 1 minute. Think about that for a minute. During the American Revolution and the United States war with Great Britain, an expert could fire 4 to 5 shots in 1 minute. How many shots could a person fire in 1 minute? with this famous maker handgun or this famous maker rifle. It would take a mere seconds to empty both of these firearms from completely full to completely empty. These weapons are deadlier, they are easier to fire, hence the reason you need competent instruction. You need training. You need to know the rules of firearms handling. Do you know what is your target and your backdrop and beyond? Do you know these things? Do you know when you can and can't use deadly force? Do you know to always point your firearm in a safe direction? Do not handle firearms when you're drunk, intoxicated, or under influence of any drugs. See, these are things that are not taught to people under this constitutional carry because there is no mandated training, no mandated instruction. The thing is, we as citizen soldiers can push back against this nonsense. The thing is, the Continental Congress of the United States saw the need for training. This country was fighting against the most powerful army in the world at the time, Great Britain. And when the United States commissioned the first Continental Army that was raised from some of the militia of the colonies at the time, they fed, housed, supplied, and trained these former militia into soldiers. And so the thing is, if we are going to fight against tyranny, which tyranny, by my definition, is not in the White House, it's not government. The real tyranny is these individuals that walk among us, that prey upon our communities, that commit these violent crimes, that are constantly going in and out of jail, this revolving door, creating more and more victims, more and more broken families. Those are the real tyrants. And in order for us to be able to push back against these tyrants, we have to be trained. We have to be competent. We have to know when and we can and cannot use deadly force. So, individually and collectively, these are a few things we can do.